Welcome to Confident Connections, the podcast that helps you show up with confidence and connect with people on a deeper level. I'm Lisa Liu, and here we break down the small signals that create big impact, body language, presence, and the simple habits that help you communicate with ease, increase your influence, and magnify your impact. You'll learn how to make strong first impressions, build trust faster, and feel more confident in any conversation or setting. If you're ready to improve your communication skills and create connections that move your life and your leadership forward, you are in the right place. Hello and welcome to the Confident Connections podcast. I'm Lisa Arundel. I'm your host of the show, and I'm beyond honored that you would spend your time here with me today. And we're going to jump right on into it because we're talking about awkward conversations. I don't care if you're an extrovert or an introvert. It is so common unless you just have this very natural way with connecting with people, which my hope is that through this podcast, you will build that. But most of us really struggle with how do we begin conversations? How do we get out of the small talk loop? Nobody loves small talk for very long, but it is kind of a necessary evil to even be able to go deeper. We have to start somewhere. So that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. And I want to start it with a scenario. So by the way, this is networking events. This is the family Christmas dinner where you haven't seen an aunt and uncle in 30 years since you were 5 or whatever. Let's see, this would be hiring new employees and learning how to engage with them, or getting a new job and you're in a sea full of people that all have a history and you don't know anybody. So it really kind of doesn't matter the scenario. This is entering into conversations with people you don't know. So here's we're gonna take the scenario of a networking event. Okay, Sue. Hi, Tim. What do you do? Tim. I work construction. Sue. Oh, that's nice. So what got you into construction? Tim. My dad was in it. Sue. Oh, wow, that's great. Tim. Yeah. Sue. Okay, well, nice meeting you. And both parties walk away completely unmemorable. Does that sound familiar to you at all? Because I got to tell you, when I started really doing networking groups, going to these meetings to start blooming where I'm planting and building my business locally, not just in other states, I had plenty of these conversations. And I just remember thinking, this is not memorable. I don't know what they do. They didn't even ask me what I do. And if they did I even explain it well? Did I talk too much about myself? There's just all these thoughts that run through our mind and cloud our present judgment oftentimes. So the key, the unlock here is preparation and intention. Preparation and intention. So I want to read you a couple of ideas and examples of what you can do to show up and be more memorable and enter that small talk in a way that sets you apart, especially if you're in a scenario where you're thinking, I don't want to fade into the background. I mean, if you are a businessman or woman, we typically, we want to represent either our own company or the company we work for well. We want to make sure, I hope if you're listening to this podcast, you're the kind of person that wants to leave the person you're talking with better than you found them. So having these things in mind, typically just shooting from the hip and hoping something clever comes out of your mouth isn't the best approach. It was not for me. I am not a naturally gifted pull something clever out of my head. I'm just not. If you are, that's incredible. I think you're in the minority there. So here's some different things to say. And one or two of these may sound cheesy to you, and that's okay. You need to find what works for you, but I want to give you some ideas that may help you think outside the box. So here's one. What's been making you smile lately? Or let's take Tim. Hi, Tim. My name's Lisa. It's so nice to meet you. Hey, what's been making you smile lately? Okay, I want to give you a recommendation on something I've been using for years that tastes amazing, easy to cook with, heat stable, and tastes like chocolate donuts with 0 grams of sugar and 15 grams of protein. Are you ready for it? It is a bone broth collagen in the form of a powder. And I'm telling you, if you get the chocolate, thank me later, it tastes like chocolate donuts, although they do have other flavors if you don't care for chocolate. If you need a refresher on some of the benefits of collagen, it can help support metabolism, gut health, improve digestion. It can lower the risk of heart disease. It helps with arthritis and supports joints. It's even been known to help with hair and nail growth. If you're not on a collagen supplement and you're looking for a very high quality grass-fed variety, this is it. It's incredibly clean. It's incredibly delicious. No sugar, 15 grams of protein. I use it in recipes. I use it in my coffee. I use it in my smoothies. It's unbelievable. You can go get it at lisaluimpact.com/bone broth. That's lisaluimpact.com/bone broth. It's also down in the show notes. Try it, and I want to hear back from you. What did you think? lisaluimpact.com/bone broth. Why do I love this one? So for some of you, that's going to feel beyond cheesy and you're like, there is no way. And that's okay. I want you to stay authentically you, okay? But I just want you to step outside of your box for just a moment and think about this. If somebody is talking to you and they say, hey, Bob, hey, Sue, hey, Tim, what's been making you smile lately? First of all, it makes you pause and think for a moment. What has been making me smile lately? You know what? I got a new dog. I got this new dog, actually. It's so funny you asked me that. I got this new dog, and I've wanted this breed of dog for so long. What does that now do for the other person? It gives them something to cling to begin to peel back layers. Tell me more about your dog. What breed is it? It's a Chihuahua. I've always wanted a Chihuahua. Oh my gosh, this dog is the best. Oh my gosh, tell me more. Like, what makes this the best breed of dog? Because you know what, my daughter's looking for a dog and maybe this is the kind of dog for her. So right there, let's just pause. We went from what could have been, hi, so what do you do for a living? To actually getting inside of this person's life. We're still pretty surface level, but we are at least one layer deeper. This right here is going to help you be unforgettable. Let's go to another one. Here's another one that I really like. What's the highlight of your week so far? I love this one. This one is, I think there's no cheese factor in this one, right? What is the highlight of your, I don't think the other one's cheesy, but you may, and that's okay. But what is the highlight of your week so far? I love this so much because it starts with a positive. What's the highlight of your week? Typically, if you say highlight, somebody's not going to tell you about maybe their dog that just passed away. Their brain immediately goes in search of something meaningful, impactful, something that's a highlight. So you are already beginning a brand new conversation with a complete stranger on a really high note, and you're allowing them to share whatever they're comfortable, a little piece of their life. And from there, the conversation can begin. For instance, hi, Sue, it's so nice to meet you. Hey, I would just love to know, what was the highlight of your week so far? And Sue's like, oh, wow, you're going to hear this a lot. That's a good question because people don't think about these questions ahead of time. They just dive into the norm. You know what? That's a good question. My highlight. You know what? My husband was laid off in April and he finally got a job offer after 9 months of looking. And we're so excited and we really, really feel good about this one. Oh my gosh, what's the job? Like, what is it that y'all are so excited about? Tell me more about this new job. She goes on to tell you, wow, that must have been really difficult. He got laid off for 9 months. You guys are super strong. I know that could tear a lot of couples apart. Do you see how you can go with one intentional question, how you can go to complete surface to at least one layer deep and maybe a little bit more. And what I want you to think about with this is how can this transform your business, your influence, and your impact? Because if you are like Tim and Sue a few moments ago at the top of the episode where I gave that super awkward conversation example, nobody is going to remember Sue or Tim from that conversation. But now there is something to ground you and that separates you. Simon Sinek calls it your purple cow. What makes you stand out? What makes you stand out in your industry? What makes you stand out in your conversations? Being intentional. All right, let's go over one more. Here's another one that's really, really easy as well. Have you read or watched anything great lately? So let me back up. Hey, Sue. So nice to meet you. I'm super curious. I'm always looking for something new. Have you read or watched anything great lately? I would love a recommendation. Why this one is so powerful. First of all, everybody loves to give an opinion. Everybody loves to give an opinion. So this immediately opens Sue up to go, you know what? I just read this dynamic book, blah, blah, blah. Tell me more about it. What's the genre, right? Or, you know what? I just started watching this documentary and oh my gosh, it opened my eyes. You may not agree with the documentary, but it doesn't mean that you can't get into their world for just a minute and just say, tell me more about that. What drew you to that? That's fascinating. Why do you think that's so important to you? So this is when we can just get off of the, what do you do for a living? You know, and here's what I do for a living. And oh, that's awesome. And I think I know this person at that company. Do you know them? No, I've never heard of them. It takes those flat, forgettable, mundane, everyday conversations and turns them into something that could be beautiful, right? This is also an excellent, let's go back to a networking opportunity. If this is somebody you do want to connect with deeper, now saying, you just are the kind of person I so enjoy talking to. Would you like to have coffee? Maybe we could talk a little bit more about what we both do. You would only want to do this if there is interest there. But do you see how much easier it is to enter a little bit deeper at that point because you've made a connection way beyond the surface? You don't have to go super deep. We're not talking about tell me your life's history or were you abused as a child? We don't have to go there to reach their heart and help them see we want to know more about them, that we're actually interested and invested in this conversation. So I have so many more. I actually have 48 of these conversation starters for all different kinds of situations, and they're completely for free. They are my gift to you. I even have ones at the very end of the PDF that you can screenshot to put on your phone so simply. So right before you walk in somewhere, you can go, oh my gosh, what are 2 or 3 things I want to ask? Perfect. It's right there. So I made it as simple as I could. Go get them for free. This is how not to be awkward conversation starters at lisaluimpact.com/connection. lisaluimpact.com/connection. It's also down in the show notes. Okay. Also, if you do want to learn some practical confidence signals, learn how to make a dynamic first impression, and even deepen the relationships you already have, you also may want to check out my 2-hour confidence connection kit, where you're going to learn all of these things in under 2 hours. That's also in the show notes, lisaluimpact.com/kit. Okay, here's my memory of the day. If you're new to the podcast, this is a newer podcast, but I think we're now into episode 4. So every week, so I started doing something I call the memory of the day. One memory each day that I want to grasp, that I want to capture. It can also be wonderful for connections and conversations with people. And on a personal note, it helps me just capture memories I would forget otherwise, because I'm terrible at journaling, but I can take 1 to 2 minutes at night and write down the memory I want to capture each day. So here's my memory of the day that I chose from this past week. I had someone in my life ask me to pray for them who had not asked me to do that in many years. This is someone I've been praying for, and so this was monumental to me, and I cannot wait to see where it leads. And I tell you that right there, I'm so glad I captured that memory. I may have remembered that anyway, but so many of our memories are just lost We think we're not interesting. We think we have nothing incredible happening in our lives. But when we grab that one memory from the day, or two, but I always allow myself just one, Lisa, just one. You can do this, because then it's not so overwhelming. It's incredible what happens. And now I have just that pillar in my mind that reminds me of what happened that day, how important it was, and who knows what conversation that could either open up or help me go somewhere with somebody if they start talking about prayer, right? So now it's at the top of my memory bank. So again, I know we're only a few short episodes in, but it would mean everything to me if you would leave a review on Apple Podcast. It helps me launch this podcast out into the ether so more people hear about it. And if you begin to adopt this memory of the week, I want to hear about it. I want to know. You can email me at info@lisaluimpact.com, and I may even read it on the air, unless you tell me I do not have permission, and I can certainly always leave your name out. That's it for today. Don't forget, your connections shape your impact, so go make them count, and I will see you next week.